To the top right of the map of Cloud Kingdom, we have in the red color, we have Ghost King, also known as...
Ghost the King!
Yep. That kind of went wrong.
That's fine.
This is going to be an epic match, and this also kind of means that we have 3 Terran players now coming up for Prime, probably.
Very likely. Extremely likely, in fact.
This is going to be so good. To the bottom left, we have our Zerg player. 2 wins already in this match, and he is...
FXO Lucky!
And Wolf just pointed out that Lucky is a very, very cautious player. We've seen this against Creator. He did not commit to an all-in after he has had this huge lead. He was just making 100% sure that he was going to win this match.
He's even drone scouting now. I mean, he is so patient and careful.
But the one thing that we also have to mention is we talked to Lenog quite a bit. We actually casted with Lenog at the Fnatic tournament and talked with him about the matchup, ZVT and Lucky's performance in this matchup. And he said that Lucky is an amazing player, but at the same time, sometimes he's a little bit too cautious. He misses timings where he could kill his opponent, tries to be too cute, and misses chances. So this might be something that could potentially...
He's too patient.
Exactly, he's too patient, and we've seen him being too patient on exactly this map, on Cloud Kingdom. It's going to be so interesting to see what he's going to do. Usually we have him with the Infestor style on this map. It's not a great map for Mutalisks, and the matchup doesn't allow Mutalisks that more often. Idra, for example, stated that he personally thinks that the future of this matchup evolves around Infestor play because Terrans just figured out how to deal with Mutalisks, and indeed they did.
Well, with that early drone scout, he does see no gases, and as a reply, he himself goes gas before the pool, and he's going to keep this drone alive a little bit longer just to be annoying. But going gas before pool allows him to get a few extra drones, get that gas out, get that speed out faster. I like this choice based on what he's scouting. And, you know, to play this type of style, send the drone scout in, scout your opponent, and then make decisions is really a good style. I really like it. It's something that is becoming more popular in this matchup now, especially on 2-player maps. Gas is being taken here for Bjorn, and the drone can see it, of course.
One of the things that kind of works in the favor of a Terran player on this map is that you can get your 3rd base, and as soon as you have siege tanks in position, it's very hard for the Zerg player to attack into the 3rd. But at the same time, it's a map where especially Broodlords in combination with a nice Corruptor count are so hard to beat. This is like the death combination for Terran. We talked a lot with Live about this strategy of Zerg, and once that the Zerg player is really able to get a few Infestors, getting like, let's say 6 to 8 Broodlords, something across those lines, and fills up the rest with his supply with, for example, Corruptors, then suddenly there's not a lot that Terran really can do. And Lucky, especially on this map, is a player who relies on a ton of Spore and Spine Crawlers in his main base, at his 3rd, and at his natural to completely shut down drop play. This is definitely something that we are going to see later, and this will help him so much to shut down the aggression from Bjorn.
Yeah, you're exactly right. That sort of drop defense is so key. Now, I'm really curious to see what Bjorn's style is going to be here. It looks like with the gas that he's taken, he'll likely, you know, basically add some reactors, add some factories. I mean, basically add 1 factory and 1 reactor, and add some Hellions, that's what I should really say, and try to put pressure on that way, because that is basically the way right now to play this matchup. Everyone is getting the Hellions out to control the map because it's so important. Reactor now started on the barracks. But what type of strategy are we going to see through the mid-game? Oh, look at this. The Zergling scouts the reactor, which is something you would expect, but just knowing for sure makes you so much more comfortable.
And he's getting in there. He sees the gas. Sees the 2nd gas, can click on it.
But he, with this, you know, question in mind, we could see a fast 2-base timing attack. We could see him take a faster 3rd. It's kind of tough for a Terran to take a 3rd on this map, but if he does get it, it's going to be, you know, a place he can defend really easily, can attack from.
Sorry to interrupt you, but he shut down the SCV scouts, so there's no information for Bjorn, and we have a Zergling run by.
Yeah, very similar to what we saw Boom Boom do, in fact. Seeing that early Zergling force in here.
Oh, that was so close. Oh, God, oh, God. That was
move.
really close here. Oh,
risky
nice.
move, but he almost got it. And a nice control on the SCV is the
goes
the
for the
buffer
whole position. Goes for the whole position to attack some of these SCVs. It didn't work out, but he put so much pressure now on Bjorn.
The wall is so beautiful here for Bjorn that the Zerlings just cannot do anything, no matter what he tries.
We have a great Overlord positioning for Lucky as well. Not only the one Overlord at the natural, but he already got another Overlord into position to the left of the main base, where he will be able to scout gas, where he will be able to have a look at the third base. And this is what Lucky does now. He gets a third base. He's getting another hatchery. And we have cloaking. We have
Cloak is so smart
ability.
in this case because
Delayed cloak, exactly.
yeah, I like this because what he did with his gases naturally took one gas as main, one gas as natural, and then the Zerg opponent, he wanted his opponent to see the gas as natural and think, oh, he went fast gases, maybe he's in a cloak. Then the drone came in and saw, oh, actually you only have 2 gases, so then he's going to be expecting Banshees a little bit less. Then now he's made the choice to go Banshees.
Nice.
I really like this.
Awesome move here. He sees that he could not kill the one creep tumor, positions one of his Hellions on top, attacks his own Hellion, and with the area effect damage, the tumor dies. Very well played. Very smart.
That's the type of decision you see very rarely, but it does sometimes come into play. I like it as well. He does scout the third base with these very same Hellions, and denying the creep scouting that third base is so important. Oh, he sees it. You're exactly right. With that same Overlord you mentioned, he's been doing such a great job positioning his Overlords to scout these key things, and double Carapace upgrade, or Carapace and melee weapons on the way, 2 hatcheries on the way, as well, of course, his third base and the macro hatch.
Did you really see it? He doesn't build any
he's not making any spores nor any additional queens. He now starts one additional queen, but
no spores.
Yeah, and no lair.
He might have missed the Banshee.
Well, he's going to see it now for sure as it comes into his natural.
But he's attacking already, and we have Cloak. There is the first spore crawler. He didn't see it earlier. He did not see it earlier, and he will lose a fair amount of workers here.
Yeah, he's going to lose a lot of workers, in fact. The Hellions coming in to the third base. They may be surrounded, though. Oh, nice control on the Hellions, but he still loses some of them. The Banshee, by the way, is now up to about 9 kills.
Yep, 9 kills indeed. Takes down another one. 10 kills, 11 kills, and not even taken now by Lucky. He retreats.
Yep, defloats early as well to save energy. The second Banshee is now out on the map. He's going to be able to control the center with it, clean up watchtowers, and then probably harass the third, but there is a spore already in play.
The harvest account is in favor of Bjorn here. Ghost King with 52 to 44 harvesters, and of course Lucky now has to drone up once again.
5 barracks adding gear. It looks like that question that I was wondering about later is being answered. What type of composition he's going to go for? When will he attack? He wants to go for a ton of marine production as he takes his third base. Allow him to pressure quite a bit.
That's the infestation pit right now, as we suspected earlier.
Yeah, he needs the infestation pit, not only because it's, like you said, it's a great map for infestors. It's not the best map for mutas, but perhaps even more importantly, since his creep spread has been so denied by Banshees and Hellions, to try to rely too much on Banelings against this type of pressure is going to be too difficult. He's going to need infestors to kind of control how the marine pressure goes for him, because with Banelings alone, with the creep spread he has, it's just not going to be enough, I don't think.
Yeah, you're perfectly right, especially if you position your siege tanks well at the bottom of the choke points, for example. We have all these ramps at the map, at the natural, at the third. You can get in good positions with the siege tanks and then just grant vision with one of your medivacs or even the Banshees that he still has.
4 reactors on the way.
Indeed.
He is going to have... This is basically going to be an SC FOU type strategy where you just attack, rally Marines behind it, you just never stop the pressure. And studying with someone like Marine King is a great way to learn a style like this, because Marine King is so good at knowing the timings for attacking and how many units to rally, when to stop rallying. Really cool to see Bjorn's style here.
Speed, +2/+2, borrow.
A lot of upgrades on the way all at once, but the action has ceased for a little while.
Yeah, Bjorn has his upgrades as well. He's going for +2/+2. He is adding his combat shield. And for now, you're perfectly right. The action kind of has ceased a little bit. Both players very cautious here. Lucky, as suspected, is just droning up. He gets pathogen glands, gets the first infestors, and he definitely needs them. As you just pointed out, he really needs to rely on infestors here.
The Banshee that was denying the creep will now be chased away by a queen, but the damage has been done. The creep is really lacking right now, and this is something that's going to be so important. But I like Bjorn's choice actually too. Rather than attack now as he has his third base,
fourth base coming up.
Yeah, he's going to get a 4th base.
The thing is that I really expect Lucky to do, he has 5 queens, so he will definitely use some of these queens to throw down like 3 or 4 creep tumors at a time in order to make up for that creep spread that he lost. And I think he's already doing it. We just had a quick shot of a queen, so he is already making good use of this excess energy on his queens that he had.
He is doing a great job with that. Hive fairly quickly here on the way now. And 2-2 upgrades going to finish very soon for these Zerglings, so that's going to be something he's going to have a little bit earlier than his opponent, which is going to be important. But because Beyond is actually not moving out right away, it's going to be something that kind of works out in his favor, I guess you could say. And Banshee does get bungled, but he's going to continue to use it to harass here.
One of the Infestor dies.
Yeah, that's not a really good trade.
Actually, a little bit surprised that we don't see the... We talked a little bit about the defense of Lucky, and usually you see him building all these Spine Crawlers and Spore Crawlers in his base, and he has now a lot of minerals, but he does not use it just now in order to get those defenses against drop plays. Something that we... well, Ghost King didn't drop just yet, but he will probably get ready very soon while he's getting 2 additional command centers now.
Yeah, the reason we haven't seen any drops just yet is because he added up his barracks so quickly before taking to his medevacs. He only has 4 medevacs out right now. In fact, the first 4 just appeared. So he has the ability to pressure now with these medevacs. He's not going to drop right away, but I think when he forces his opponent to get into a defensive position, that's when he's going to start doing the drops.
Lucky is supply blocked. He is on 170. He can't build units. He has to wait for those 2 overlords.
Great positioning here for Beyond. He's got his unit sieged and pre-split. The Infestors have sneaked in, though. He's going to try to draw siege tank fire.
Nice target firing with the siege tanks. Takes down every single Infestor there is except for 1. But the Banelings and the Zerglings, they are attacking. The siege tanks are gone, and he takes down most of these Marines. Beautiful engagement by Lucky. Saves his 4th base.
Yeah, great engagement for Lucky.
Oh god, +3, +3 adrenal glands, not missing a step here.
He's not missing a step at all, and I'm actually so... This game is so even and back and forth, but I like what we're seeing here from our Zerg player. Is actually going to not only force a lift on the 4th base, but attack the 3rd. The army completely out of position, abusing that immobility of the Terran army.
Oh, getting in position with the Banelings right now, trying to take down the siege tank. Oh, maybe engaging a little bit too much here. Forced the lift off already. Did he take down the 4th? He did?
No, he lifted it.
You sure? I hope so, but...
Actually, you know what?
I think it died.
There's just so many command centers. Beyond has made so many command centers, it's hard to tell which command
I think it actually died.
Yeah, I think you're right, because all these command centers are at full hit points. You're right. I think he killed it.
Oh, Spire coming up right now. Something that it definitely needs in order to get... Oh, I love it. He borrows 1 of the Zerglings.
Yep, that means he's going to have to use a scan and bring units back to defend that. Looks like he's going to send his Banshee over there. Meanwhile, because the command center is spotted, the Zerglings are running by. Yep. Yeah. He has no SCVs mining there. He's actually going.
Expansion had to be cancelled at the bottom right, though, where a small force of Ghost King was just attacking. But here comes Lucky once again. The Infestors running straight into the tanks. All of them get taken down. He doesn't even use the fungal here.
Oh, losing another Infestor there. Things looking bad because he lost so much gas in those Infestors.
Look at this Marine spread.
Great Marine spread. The Zerglings are trying to find an opening. They're cutting off reinforcements here, but the main Ghost King army has killed a hatchery, and it's still going strong.
+3 is halfway down for Ghost King right now. Run-bys everywhere, catching off reinforcements.
He has so many medevacs right now that the Marines can be healed basically instantaneously.
The 3rd base had to be lifted by Ghost King as well. This game is just getting completely out of control. Units everywhere, and here comes Ghost King taking down the 4th. Will he move in? Will he try to commit again? This game is just completely insane. They're kind of tight in supply, but look at these upgrades. Look at the Great Aspire. Everything is just spiraling out of control.
He's trying to use these Infestors to break the siege line. Looks like he will break it. And, you know, Beyond right now, he's been losing so much mining time from having all 3 command centers lifted.
Attack. The Banelings are the anvil, and the Zerglings, the hammer coming down from the north. He sandwiches the army once again, splitting his units, trying to get into position. Backs off right now, playing cautious here.
He needs to land his command centers, man. He needs to land those command centers. He's not mining now.
His income is in shatters.
He's in total tatters right now. He's not landing his command center because he needs to kill the burrowed Zergling, but he can't go over there right now because there's so many Zerglings on the map. And he never feels comfortable.
We have the Great Aspire, the Corruptors are ready, and even though Ghost King is now adding a 2nd starport, if Lucky plays cautious here and does not build too many Broodlords, but keeps a fair amount of Corruptors, there's nothing that Beyond can do. This is going to be so hard to defend against.
Yeah, you're exactly right. A scan finally kills that Zergling over there at the top base. And now he does have the ability to keep production up. Right now his Marine count's only at 47, Caldor. That's not enough Marines. He's behind in supply. He has no ability to pressure on the map now.
We have all these Spore Crawlers and Spine Crawlers now that we mentioned earlier. Lucky is playing it so safe. He knows that he's ahead at this point. He has the tag. He's going for it, and he knows definitely, okay, what can kill me right now? Drops. So let's just defend against drop play at Spine Crawlers, at Spore Crawlers, and make sure it doesn't happen.
Yeah, that's exactly what he needs to do right now. That's all he really needs to do. If he can actually do that, defend all the drop aggression that he might encounter, he should actually be able to win this game. Auto turrets, high-stack auto tracking and building armor being researched right now as Vikings are finally being added. He's about to be up to 4 here. If he can hold on a little bit longer, secure this base, keep this base alive, this planetary that he has here, he'll be able to finally push his way out. The creep spread actually is not that good for our Zerg players, so he can actually move out on the map if he wins one engagement at his planetary. So Lucky's going to have to decide exactly how he wants to engage here, because if the battle goes poorly for him, he needs to be able to escape. With no creep spread towards that planetary, it's going to be very difficult to retreat if things go awkwardly, if things are a little bit shaky for him.
Lucky doesn't have too many Corruptors here, but there are not a lot of Vikings out for Ghost King, and now he's going to attack. Even the Ultralisk Cannon coming up now for Lucky, who is just once again making sure that he has every possibility to transition.
Here come those Broodlords. They're a little bit exposed. The Corruptors now coming in. Great control by Lucky. So much patience here. The Marines stimming in. That's exactly what Lucky wants, though. With the planetary range upgrade, the Banelings can't safely engage the Marines. He's actually going to target down Broodlords here. The Vikings trying to kite the Corruptors. Hold position micro by Beyond. The Zerglings are running in here. The planetary doing so much extra damage, though. The tanks getting some good hits, and Beyond pulls ahead in supply here. The SCVs are saved, and oh no, this is what I was talking about. It's very difficult to retreat now, and this is a great engagement with Beyond, who takes the supply lead in this game.
Oh, Lucky, he is not in a position. He had too many Zerglings here. He had too many Groundies, not enough Broodlords, not enough Corruptors to save them. He's retreating right now, but
losing
Queen
so many Queens.
after Queen
Exactly
is
what I was
going
talking
to kill.
about. No creep.
Look at the energy on the Queens. He didn't even use his transfusers.
Yeah, they
were
weren't there in
energy.
time. There was not enough creep spread, and the planetary range upgrade was so important here. 6 Ultralisks on the way, though, are going to really help even up the supply, and the Chitinous plating on the way as well.
Oh, an Ultralisk at a time where Beyond is producing Vikings like a madman.
That's a very good point. That's exactly why he's making this transition. Right now, the composition is 52 Marines. There's only 1 Marauder in the mix. He is continuing Viking production very heavily right now. Some Banshee harass over here is actually becoming fairly effective. 41 kills on this Banshee in total. The same Banshee from earlier. Right now, the worker count, 45 SCVs to 89 drones.
The Banshee dies, but well, with 41 kills, it actually did a good job.
I think that's well worth it, man. Now Beyond moving out, he feels he has a timing here. This is so risky, though. Similarly to Lucky, there is no retreat. If he fails this attack, he's going to lose his entire army. And at this point, with his Harvester count this low, I like his choice to turn around now. Even he realizes, I can't move out just yet. I'm not sure if I have the perfect composition. He continues he continues to drop and scan to find out what sort of composition his opponent is building as he harasses, tries to kill workers.
Look how this drop dies. There are Spore Crawlers everywhere. This is what we mentioned over and over again. Lucky being cautious. This drop doesn't stand a chance. And now we have both of them on 192, 94 supply moving in. Of course, Ghost King has to add Marauders now. He has to do something against these Ultralisks.
3 Marauders at the time being made here. This planetary, I do not think has any chance of surviving. It's going to be taken out. And now Beyond, will he decide to try to catch the Zerg army? Looks like he's going to try. He is sieged up, but the Zerg army actually escapes.
I like this choice, Malaki.
Yeah, me too. It's such a smart choice.
He moves back, and look what he's built. He built 6 additional Infestors right now. This will put his Infestor count to 7. He lacked the Infestors, and now he can use the Fungals once again. He is on 5 bases at this point.
Yeah, he is on 5 bases. He knows his opponent's worker count is lower. Sensor towers being made now for Beyond because he knows the run-bys are just one of his biggest challenges to face right now. 25 Banelings being morphed and 4 Spines being added. Something, we've mentioned time and time again is Lucky is just doing such a great job at defending run-bys, counterattacks, drops. Another hatchery being made here. It looks like Beyond is going to really commit to this attack right now. He only has 12 Marauders in the mix, though. So many Vikings, at the Viking count being at 12 here.
This game is far from being over, but Beyond is struggling a little bit. His economy is definitely not as good as the economy of Lucky, but we have a huge army supply for Beyond here. 160 against 116.
It's all going to come down to the Fungals. I very strongly believe that is going to be the deciding factor in this next battle. Look at the positioning here for Beyond. Oh, it looks like Lucky's going to commit. His Banelings are actually being targeted. Beautiful targeting on the Banelings. Now the Marines can do so much damage. This is such a good engagement for Beyond. Look at the supply drop for Lucky. He's trying to remax with more Ultralisks, but this is a great engagement for Beyond. Beyond taking a huge lead here. This is great great for Bjorn. He takes out all of the Ultralists, and now he's got an aggressive timing to actually kill drones here. He could even go to the bottom right if he wants to.
And this is what we said earlier. The army supply was so much better for Bjorn. And at the same time, did you see how those Ultralisks moved? They blocked each other.
All the
entire
Banelings were
time.
trapped in the center. He targeted them down.
It is so important that you don't overcommit to Ultralisk because of this exact reason. You need to make sure that you attack on a broad scale, that you have all this attack ground, and he did not rely on Broodlords. He should have built Broodlords.
Yeah, Bjorn.
Lucky said it best. Ultralisk Thrasher.
Well, he does have so many Vikings out now, though, so the Broodlord choice would be a difficult one to make. I feel like Bjorn actually just... He's stuck with the Vikings. You know what? I'm just going to hope for a good engagement here. I know I have more army than you. Why? Because I'm max and you're max, and I have very few workers. I'm relying on mules. He had so many extra orbitals. He's been relying on mules for his economy, and now he won that battle, killed 2 hatcheries. Now all he needs to do is defend against his counterattack, and he'll be in almost an unlosable position.
It's going to be pretty tough for Lucky. Bjorn played this very, very well. He took his time. He waited until he had the perfect position in order to engage and forced Lucky to face his army in a situation where he could not make use of all his units. And as you said, this targeting with the tanks is so important.
And the Banelings were just all trapped. The Ultras not able to engage as well as they should, as you said. And now Lucky trying to make something work, trying to defend this base, but Bjorn is in such a good position here. The one thing I would say I'd like Bjorn to do a little bit more of is clean up some of this creep. He's going to try to break this line using infestors that are burrowed. Again, the Vikings are actually landed here to form a buffer.
Look at the supply. Lucky is dropping. He's dropping down to 120
so quickly.
GG! Bjorn pulls it off.
I cannot believe it.
He takes the win. He was down. He was down for the count, and then he comes back. And Lucky, he knows that he had his chance and he did not use it. When he started to build the Broodlords, we talked about this. You have to have the he had too many Zerglings. He should have killed a couple of Zerglings, got additional 4 to 5 Ultralisks and Broodlords and a few of his Corruptors as well to defend against him.
He engaged, he committed 2 times.
Oh my god, look at him.
2 times incorrectly. He looks so frustrated, and he knows that he got nervous. He choked the commitment to attack at the planetary with so many ground units when planetary range was out. He didn't know the range was out, but still, he ran his units around the planetary, hesitated a lot. He lost so many of his ground forces, and then when he attacked again with the Ultralisk in bad position, that was really the turning point in the game here, and Bjorn looks so happy, as he should, talking to Marine King there, and Prime taking a lead.
Lucky is
so strong.
Devastated, and so is FXO. Lucky had a really good chance in this game, but when he lost this entire army, even the Queens, it was so much going on, he just couldn't focus on everything. It was too much. He didn't use the energy with the Queens. He did not transfuse the Broodlords.
Yeah, they couldn't even get there because he attacked too soon.
There was so much going on.
So much going on. It was actually such a fun game to watch and cast.
Oh, it was amazing.
And Bjorn's play was actually flawless. I actually saw no mistakes in his play. He looked a little bit lacking through the mid game, where he had his 3 command centers lifted for so long. He was never able to get over there and multitask that. But besides that, man, he did lose the orbital as well. But I felt like he knew exactly what to do. He's like, I'm so behind, and he just picked every right choice. He fought in all the right places, microed as well as he could.
He never gave up.
Never gave up, and did such a great job in that game. That is such... you saw me try to speak words, but they didn't come out. I don't know. I'm speechless. This is what speechless means. Who is it going to be? Is it going to be Oz? Is Oz going to come out here?
Oh, kind of looks like it. He's smiling.
He's smiling. I think it is time. Oh, what? Choya!
Oh my god.
Oh man, Choya is actually going to come out here against Bjorn.
Wow.
That is the last thing I expected to see.
Remind me of the score again.
The score is 3-2 in Prime's favor.
That means that either Oz or Lino will not play.
Yeah. And you can see...
I have no idea what to say about that.
You can see that what is going on here is a little bit of team faith. Oz really wants to let Choya prove himself. Choya wants to be the guy who comes in for his team. He has a few times this season showed I can really be the guy who wins for my team. And this is such a risky choice for Choya, but
I'm completely at a loss of words here. This Choya did well in Team League. He did very well in the Team League this season, but with Oz and Lenok on the bench, this is the last thing that I expected.
I think we're gonna see Choya and Oz, in fact, because will you use Marine King? I mean, will you use Lenok against Marine King? I wouldn't. Not when I have Oz, who's great at PvT, but Marine King's so good at TvP. This is such a bold move for FXOpen. Like, oh my god!
Look at him, he's praying, and I would too. This is wow.
And FXOpen really stressed. Everyone on the team shaking here. I cannot believe Choya has done this.
Me neither.
It's not an April Fool's joke, man. He's really in there.
He's really in the booth right now.
He is really in there.
He pushes Oz back, and now he's preparing for this match. This is crazy. Wow. He must be really confident here.
I did not think we were going to see Choya today. But we're going to have a 5-minute break. When we get back, we'll see what strategy Choya has planned. So don't go anywhere. Tell all your friends to tune in, get watching. This has been such an awesome match so far, but it's just getting heated up.